Sorry. Okay, I'm going to read a disclaimer before we begin the show. And I'm sure those of you who listen regularly are well aware, you could probably read it with me. Angel Heart Radio program should not be used to replace your legal, medical, nor professional advice, nor your own sound judgment. You are a divine spark. You are universal light. You are here on purpose. You are part of a divine plan, and it is our joy to support you. So welcome to Angel Heart Radio, and welcome to this special show today. I'm really excited because I'm able to be joined by, as I said, Vanessa Eagleton. Have I said it right, Vanessa?
Yes, thank you.
Very good. I'm pleased about that. So,
thank you, Annette. It's very exciting to be here with you to give me this opportunity today to talk about what I'm doing.
Well, I'm excited for you to be here, and Gabby is here. Thank you, Gabby.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure that Gabby is from Perth. So okay. Well done, Gabby. She's a very strong supporter of Angel Heart Radio.
Oh, lovely.
And may I suggest that people, if you are watching us anywhere else but on the Angel Heart Radio page, please come across to the Angel Heart Radio page, because there you can join in the discussion. And Vanessa has some fascinating information for us, and then she is going to be doing a couple of little, what shall I say, procedures with us?
Yeah, a little energy clearing, a detox for our nerves.
Wonderful. We need that these days, don't we?
Oh, absolutely. But this is a specific part of our nerves called the myelin sheath.
Right.
So it's the covering that goes around the nerves.
Ah, that's where I've heard it. Yes, because that can be injured. Am I right?
Well, it can deteriorate through, my guides have said that it's to do with toxicities that neurologically affect the nervous system, the neurons, the receptors, all that kind of thing. They clog up with toxins and heavy metals.
Right.
So I was shown that if anyone has that condition, it'd be a great idea to work with them to clear heavy metals,
right,
to check them for those kinds of things.
Now, let's go back, shall we, to basics, because your practice is clearing pathogens. Can you explain to our wonderful audience what pathogens are? Because I know we can have lots of them in our bodies.
Yes, absolutely. Pathogens are bacteria. We all know bacteria when we get infections. Pathogens are viruses and fungus, parasites, and toxins and metals. So all across the board of those kind of infections that make us sick, very unwell and fatigued a lot of the time. And sometimes we don't even know those pathogens exist in our body.
Right.
Which is interesting.
Well,
unless you get really sick, you know. So normally what happens is your immune will go down if you're quite stressed or going through a really major life change. That's always very stressful to the body, the emotions and the mind, of course. So the immune goes down and all the bugs that were in your body flare up and you start having these weird symptoms and things, you know.
Right. Now, I'm interested especially because Gabby has joined us today, as I said, and she's explaining that she worked in a plant mining radioactive mineral sands for years.
Oh,
so
goodness.
She expects this to be perfect for her. How interesting, Gabby, that you have joined us today.
Wow.
So please stay tuned. And
I'd love
so,
to talk to Gabby, but we can't talk, so she can
right.
ask questions, I guess. But
Absolutely, yes, yeah. But certainly, I know I've been reading a lot lately about the heavy metals and how we can have them in our bodies, and with, as you say, without realizing until we become diseased.
yeah. So a lot of neurological problems are heavy metals, as well as viruses, of course, and other things. But I do find a lot of metals in people that have nervous system problems. I find metals in lots of different people who have infections in the reproductive area, brain, in the brain as well, brain fog, fatigue. People with Lyme disease have mercury, heavy metals as well. So it's worth just doing a heavy metal clearing,
Mm-hmm.
you know, having a check. And if you already know you have them, well, then that's good. But I can always go through my lists and see what's there. And then we work to detox the toxicity,
Right.
to neutralize the toxicity in your body.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So your work fascinates me. It's and I know that you're not a doctor, you are a facilitator of healing. Would that be an apt title?
Yes, energy healer, transformer. I've been doing energy healing for 16 years. So it's my passion to do that and to look for ways to heal the body, because I've always been interested in helping people to overcome physical issues. So this modality is like nothing else that I've ever experienced. And I've done quite a few modalities over the years. It's fairly new in its, I've been doing it for 2 years, and my teacher was 2 years probably with it before that. So it's very new.
Mm-hmm.
And I was one of the first people trained with the modality.
Right.
So that's exciting. And also, I'm the only one in Australia at the moment doing this energy healing for pathogens.
Right.
So that's exciting as well. The modality is called Pathogenics.
Mm-hmm.
Pathogenics.
And people can find you on the Facebook page, Pathogen
Healing
Clearings.
Services. You probably
Yes.
put it below the link there, have you?
It was in, I haven't put it up today, but we can say it, Pathogen Healing Services.
Services, on Facebook. So that if you go to the About page, it will tell you all about it, how it works, how I operate with it. So it's all remote clearing. I have clients all over the world who have had pathogen healings, clearings. And so I do it remote with them, not actually on a call with me. I can do it that way, which is very convenient for people who live, on the other side of the globe.
Absolutely. And also you can have people on the phone, because that's how I had my clearing. It's a very relaxing experience.
Yes, well, we're running energy, and people feel all sorts of things going on, and some people feel pain in the body as the pathogen, the energy is shifting in the body. So it's quite fascinating for them as well. And I feel a lot going on too. I feel it in my body, which is interesting, but it's just what it is. So gives another dimension of this healing to me, to know where it is in your body, where it's affected you.
Right.
Yeah.
I get the sense, Vanessa, that sometimes you might feel even more than the person you're working with.
Yes. Some people feel nothing if they're not used to having energy run on them, or have had any kind of healing. They're not familiar with it, so they don't feel as much. That's fine. It's still being done. it's still being done. Yeah.
Well, Gabby is having quite a conversation here, which is lovely. She's saying that she's already tingling, so I know this is going to be amazing.
Oh, lovely. Awesome.
Yes, I hadn't thought about this before. Well, I must admit, it wasn't until our mutual friend Beth mentioned you to me, Vanessa. I had no idea about you nor the work that you do. And voila, here we are presenting to the world.
It's wonderful and so exciting, isn't it? So mainly it's word of mouth. I don't do a lot of promotion, shall we say.
Well, sometimes it's amazing. Word of mouth can, and of course, Facebook. We never know how. And because you work well with spirit, I get the sense that the people who need to come to you will appear. The same as Gabby has said, there's no coincidence. I totally agree with her that everything happens for a reason, and we're where we need to be.
Yeah, so I agree totally. A lady recently said she prayed for help, and within a day, you know, my name come up. So that's just wonderful to hear those kind of stories. So, you know, everything is intention. If you need help, put it out to the universe.
Now we have Gaia Man saying hi. Hi back to you. Wonderful that you can join us.
Hello.
Yeah, I hope I've said that correctly. Sometimes the screen is very dark and it's like, it's either Gaia or Gala Man. Either way, fairly impressive name.
Well, we'll welcome him or her. We'll welcome that person to the show.
And of course, Vanessa, some people will be watching this as a replay. This is what I love about presenting on Angel Heart Radio, because we go out live to Facebook, live to YouTube, and then later, of course, people can watch wherever. And we also then place it on Blog Talk Radio. So there are many, many platforms, some which I'm unaware of. It's just, so I do know that these shows go out to the people who are searching for what we're presenting.
Wonderful. Yes. So I want to talk a little bit about what kind of things we can heal with pathogens. By clearing the pathogens. So there's conditions like irritable bowel syndrome, digestive problems, candida, food poisoning. If you get a bad case of food poisoning, there's always some nasty bacteria that I can check and clear. Norovirus is another one that upsets a lot of people, particularly on the cruise ships. We have people getting sick. We hear about the outbreaks of norovirus. So that's another one that clears very quickly when I do work on that.
Well, that's
parasites.
nice to know.
Yes, she got pretty much relief straight away for the norovirus. Parasites are nasty things, very nasty energy, I might add, as well, who that can make us very sick. So we get parasites from water contamination. I had a lady that had some bad water, and she had nausea for about a month or so, feeling very uncomfortable. And I identified a parasite called Cryptosporidium. So it's a little parasite and gives vomiting and diarrhea and things like that. So as soon as I cleared it, she did get kind of sick about 9 hours later, when the detoxing process had started in her energy. And then after that, it was cleared. After she was finished detoxing, she was right again. She had no more nausea. So that was a really good outcome.
Absolutely.
Yes, so there's so many things. There's like Epstein-Barr virus, virus that inflicts so many people. It's
Mhm.
one of the most common viruses I clear in my clients. Probably about 95% of people have Epstein-Barr. So when I clear that, some people will feel a shift in their fatigue levels. They'll actually feel a difference. But if someone has a lot of pathogenic infection, they may not feel that shift quite so strongly because they have a lot of other stuff as well going on.
Mm-hmm.
There's skin conditions that have a lot of pathogenic bugs for skin. Sometimes heavy metals are involved with our skin problems. Sometimes it's emotional. I see a lot of emotions with the pathogens as well. So that's a whole nother interesting story. There's back pain issues, joint pain. We can look at the mycoplasmas, the viruses. A lot of viruses can have from mosquito-borne, they're from mosquitoes, like Ross River fever, Barmah forest virus, parvovirus. All those viruses can give stiffness and pain in the joints.
Well, it's interesting because Gala Man has said, oh, I'm always fatigued and all of the above. So
Really
interesting.
Okay, let me just read out some fatigue bugs. So if someone has fatigue, these are the things that I look for first. So we have Epstein-Barr virus, cytomegalovirus, which is a best friend of Epstein-Barr. I see them together. You know, most people have either one or the other, but most people have both actually. So we have Ross River fever. Hepatitis C virus is a big fatigue bug. The Candida. Now that affects for the brain fog as well, because Candida can give off toxic energy that affects the neurological system. So it's pretty nasty if you've had Candida in your body for a while. Mercury, Pfeiffer's glandular fever, which is another sort of strain of Epstein-Barr. That's pretty nasty, that one. Herpes, the varicella zosters, herpes zosters, they can give awful fatigue, and also Coxsackie A24 and B6. They're the Coxsackies. They're really nasty.
Right.
Yeah, so I'll check all those bugs, and when we lift them, most people have huge impact. You know, it's just so different. They feel so different.
Right. Well, we have questions. Gabby's saying, I have tried to follow an unprocessed diet for years. Does that help? And food intake, she's questioned that.
Food, yes, it does help, but it doesn't get rid of pathogens. It doesn't get rid of, it may help with certain things, but it won't get rid of the viruses. That's on a completely different level to deal with a virus with food. You know, supplements and herbal things may help, but over time, it may take, you know, months before something shifts around that. But that's why the healings are so amazing, because you don't need to wait months for this. It's pretty much instant, or within, you know, up to a week, people feel different, very different.
Well, Gabby is also saying she's had glandular fever 3 times during her life.
Wow. Wow. So we can get reinfected, or what happens is when you get stressed, your immune will go down, and then that pathogen that's still in your body from when you were, say, 18 can just flare up again, and you'll have more symptoms in varying degrees of those symptoms. Yeah. So the bugs don't go away, the viruses don't go away. They lay dormant in the body until you know, have a stressful period in your life. I had a varicella zoster virus in my sciatic nerve. For me, it was just I've had 10 years of back pain. I mean, that's just horrible. It was just horrible and debilitating, you know, on many levels. And I was 2 months into my training when my teacher said, yes, you can have these viruses in your nerves. So they irritate your nerves, they inflame and create pain. So she identified varicella zoster, which is the chickenpox from a chickenpox virus. And I had that when I was 33 years old. And wow, she didn't know that, but it came up energetically when she tested. So when she cleared it, I had a lot of intense pain for about 20 minutes and then nothing. And then it was gone for a long time, 11 months. It was just no pain. It was just the most incredible thing. Like, wow. So that's my amazing story for myself.
Yes. So now, Vanessa, you're saying it went for 11 months. Then did you need to do more clearing?
It flared up again. So I just re-cleared another layer of it, because pathogens can layer in the body where we can just, you know, clear one layer and then there's another one underneath. So I do need to keep a check on them. Yes.
Okay. Now, Gabby's aware that when her body is worn out, that's when she gets glandular fever recurring. And Garland is saying his biggest enemy is stress. And, well, absolutely. We can all put our hands up for that one, I think.
Absolutely. It's just the kill. It's a killer. Like, it disables us in so many levels, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Yeah, so we all have to get ways of learning to deal with stress, to identify it when it's happening and to release it, you know, just with your intention even. I do intentions to release pressure and stress in my neck, for instance, if I'm having a stiff neck. And you do it with my intention and I end up clearing the pain. It's quite remarkable. So we just need to know how to do these little practices for ourselves to help shift our own energy. So I have I do also medical intuitive healing where I work to clear body parts, which is totally fascinating to me.
Right.
So I offer that as part of the extra with the pathogen work. Yes, so I often do remote healings once a month for body parts. So that's another thing I offer, and it's wonderful to do that. So I did one recently, and I'll probably do another one soon. So
now people can find those on your page, can't they?
Yes, I do put the events on the page. And I also email the events in case people don't have Facebook. A lot of my clients don't have Facebook, so they have no clue what I'm doing unless I email them. Yeah, so that's another way to connect, and just send me your email so I can put you on my lists.
So now people can send their email via, what's the best way to contact you if they're not using Facebook?
Through email. So Pathogen Whisperer is my address, email address, Pathogen Whisperer.
Whisperer.
I think, yeah, Whisperer. It's not on there. Okay. Is it AU or just, no, it's Whisperer. Whisperer, ER on the end.
Right.
.com. At gmail.com. Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay. Now, Gabby also had, she's asked for a lot in this lifetime. She had rubella 3 times before she was 13. I'm thinking now I'm full of a whole lot of yuck.
Yeah. Well, if she's got symptoms of her, you know, she might, if she's got symptoms, they're definitely related to glandular fever for sure.
Right.
And rubella is another one that stays around the ears, nose, and throat conditions.
Yeah. Yes, I think that's something you picked up in me. Was
I did,
rubella?
because the ears, it can create problems with the ears.
Right.
Blockages or whatever.
Well, I think we've kept people in suspense long enough. How about I ask you to start your process?
Oh, okay, sure. Let's go into healing mode. So just everybody who's listening and who will listen to this replay, this energy healing is for everyone who has the intention to receive it, for their myelin sheath and their nerves, the nervous system, and spinal cord. So the entire area. So I'm going to start doing just a little quick process to start a detoxification of whatever's there. So I'm going to go silent while I do that. So I just ask everybody to relax, close their eyes, and hold the intention to have that cleared of toxicity within your myelin sheath and nervous system.
Just before you go into this, Vanessa, sorry, some people do tend to listen to these while they're driving or operating machinery. Obviously, that's not a good idea to do this process. So make sure you're not driving when you get to this part. Pull over so you can.
Now also have some water. Drink some water, because this helps shift the toxicity out as well. So before and after we do this, just have some water. So we ready?
We're ready.
Okie dokie. Let's close our eyes and hold intention to clear all toxicity within our myelin sheath, spinal cord, and nervous system. Feeling very sleepy. Wow. Still clearing. Okay, that has finished. Boy, that was really heavy for me. I could feel a lot of that energy in my jaw, teeth, up here in the TMJ part.
Right, I found it across my left eyebrow especially.
Okay, so that's indication for you and for everyone who's feeling something, that's where the toxins and poisons are actually releasing from. That's my understanding anyway, was when we feel stuff, it's usually where it's sitting in the body. So these kind of clearings can make you very tired the next day. So just be aware of being of how you're feeling in the next 24 hours. This is why it's important to keep drinking water, to keep flushing, because I do use homeopathic things to shift stuff along, to shift energy.
Can you clarify that, Vanessa?
Homeopathic remedies. Everyone pretty much knows what a homeopathic remedy is. So they all have different, they're used for different parts of the body. So if I'm working on something specific, I'll use a different one. You know, they're all different. So I've used some of those today to help the detoxification process from the body through the liver and digestive system. Yeah.
Cool.
And I am getting quite a bit of a headache right now. So just be aware that this will start stuff moving in your body.
Gabby is saying she's got discomfort in her right hip.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. In the right hip. Lots of stuff may be gathering around that area. You know, this is where all the toxins and poisons can gather, not only in the organs, but the nerves and also the joints.
Now,
anybody else feeling
Robin
anything?
Grant has joined us. Welcome, Robin.
Hi, Robin.
And she says, nice work, Vanessa. Having been through some of your clearings, I understand how the energy moves through your body. And Gabby has said she has a lot of salt baths, like every day. Good on you. How indulgent. That's fantastic. Does that affect me one way or the other? It's got her thinking now.
It helps detoxify things from your body, yes. Salt's very healing, isn't it?
It is. Yes.
And it's the same as having a magnesium bath. That will help relax a lot of tension from the muscles in the body.
Right. I got the sense that Gabby was concerned, was she overdoing the salt baths?
Well, I probably wouldn't have them every day. Maybe twice a week or at least once a week if she feels the need to do that. But
yes, it's good to tune into the body on those things, isn't it?
Yes. So do we have any other people on the call?
We do, yes. Now, Galaman is saying the neck, he must be releasing from the neck, I think.
Okay.
Gabby's saying, I did feel energy movement and clearing was checking my salt baths weren't doing damage. Oh, and she's just called you a party pooper because you're saying ease the salt baths. Well, maybe you can have a bath, Gabby, but don't put salt. Use other beautiful things rather than salt all the time.
Because when we're doing pathogens, it's the energy is really intense, and if you go off doing more detoxing stuff, you're going to feel more. You're going to feel that more. So
yeah. Now, Robin wants to know why that some things need multiple clearings. That's a very good question.
I know it is baffling sometimes, but I feel the first couple of the first week is where I see sometimes people need that second clearing where it just doesn't clear. And then after I do maybe 2 or 3 clearings, it's fine after that. So as I said, it's layers. We might just be touching the first layer because it's so chronic in your body. You've probably had it for years and years. It's been there a long time. So one clearing is not, going to completely clear that pathogen. So it's up to me as the practitioner to check and work with the client for them to tell me of how they're feeling. So if they're feeling funny again, I need to go in and check and then re-clear the pathogen. So that's no extra charge for re-clears. It's once you pay that first thing, it's up to me to keep that clear and re-clear it if it pops up.
Right. So it's a good way for us to tune into our bodies, isn't it? And become aware of, even before reaching out to you, what is going on in my body, because I do believe that our body, pain is a message. We're not meant to feel pain. It's a warning, if you like, or a message.
Yes, well, it can be an indication that something is not right. Something's not flowing right in the body. The energy systems are struggling. So yeah, it's with the medical intuitive work, I want to start teaching people how to tune into their bodies to get information, because your body's always talking. It's trying to tell you things. It will try to, and most of us just don't even acknowledge the body. The heart, for example, works 24/7 doing its amazing job. So we need to maybe connect a bit more to our body consciousness to give gratitude and love and support. Tell it you very much appreciate what it's doing for you. Because I had a very strange experience yesterday where I was doing something with chemicals and I shouldn't have been doing that. And I heard a voice say, "Why do you subject us to that?" And I went, "What? Who's that?" And then the voice was saying, "Well, I'm your cells. It's your cells speaking here," which is incredible.
Wow.
Normal for me, but I guess I'm still amazed by that. And it said, we have to breathe and function too, So it's like, whoa. Well, I actually got quite an amazing channeling or information from the cells, and I'm going to post that on my page very soon because I want to share that. It is just marvelous to know that our cells do have a consciousness, and amazingly, they are waiting for us to respond to them, to speak. They're waiting for us to speak to them. That's what they mentioned.
Right.
And
now you're going to put that on the Pathogen Clearing Services page or your own?
Yes, and my personal Vanessa page.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
People can reach you via your Vanessa page?
Yes, Vanessa Eagleton. Yep.
Gorgeous.
So I'm happy to friend anybody there who's interested in just connecting, for sure.
Lovely.
As well, yes. So start speaking to your bodies, everybody. Tune in. If you have a bit of pain in your body, send love, send focus and intention of loving. Sometimes we may need to forgive things, that are energetically going on in there, because we hold all sorts of emotions in the body. And I can usually see where things are, sitting, emotions. Sometimes I get the age of when the trauma happened, which is very important for what they've actually manifested. So this could be like 20, 30 years before they've had a huge emotional trauma that has
20 or 30 years.
Yes, talking to a lady the other day 30 years ago, she said, yes, that's right, I did have a major trauma. So yeah, amazing.
Gee. Gabby's saying thank you so much. It's very interesting and she will research it more. So certainly to go to Pathogen Clearing Services. It's a wonderful page to start with.
I also do free chats. If anyone wants a free 20-minute, 30-minute chat with me, just let me know and we can just chat about your specific conditions, your symptoms, and I can tell you, if I'm able to help on that level or not.
Now, Robin loves your connection to the spirit world. And
Yeah.
the thing is, you're a light in the way that you're showing we all can have connection to the spirit world, the same as we
Absolutely.
can all tune into our bodies. And Gala Man is amazed by the experience, and he had a couple of tears.
Oh,
So
that's amazing. So there's a lot of emotions underneath the toxins. And when I start working with pathogens, people can start crying, and it's very emotional because that energy is lifting out. It's incredible.
All right. He's saying he would love that 20-minute consultation.
Sure.
So to reach out via Facebook, is that the way to go, and say he's listened today or watched today?
Yes. Connect to me through the business page, Pathogen Healing Services, and we can set up a time. Now, if you're in Australia, that's awesome because you're on my timeline. But if you're in another country, it's a little bit different. We'll have to sort that out, but it's not a problem. I look forward to talking with you.
Yes. Cool.
Yeah. And thank you, Robin, for your lovely words. I do have a lot of amazing experiences with spirit. With animals as well. They're very special animals. They're pure love. When you work with an animal, it's just pure love. And they receive the healing. They don't question it. They don't get in their heads about it. They're just beautiful beings of light. So, yes, I love working with animals. And of course, animals have the same infections and parasites and viruses that humans get. So we do work with, I do like to work with animals. So that's something else as well.
Lovely. So if people have concerns about their pets, they, as well as themselves, or simply reach out to you for either or both.
Yes, we can at least discuss what's going on with the pet. Yes, and for sure.
Robin's saying, I recommend other people to connect with you. It's not like any other healing.
Thank you, Robin. Yeah, I agree. It's like nothing else.
Well, it's amazing. And the fact that you have explained, Vanessa, that sometimes it can take a little longer. However, sometimes we can notice things immediately.
Yes.
Fascinating.
Yes, it is. It's amazing. So if you have autoimmune diseases, that's a lot of pathogenic infection going on. So we may not have an overnight result. You know, it's a process of elimination where I have to go through and find what's there and then take it out by priority. So I just work with the person's energy of what they want out first.
All right. So is that their body speaking to you or them consciously saying what they'd like done?
No, it's nothing to do with the consciousness. We know nothing. I work with the body and spirit and my guides to actually work with the person's energy. So it's your energy that I'm tuning into to ask what's going on. And also in a session, you might not be able to tolerate 5 pathogens in one go. Some people will get overwhelmed with that in a detoxing. So their body will say, no, I only want 3 done today. Right. So I always ask the energy of the body, how many can you tolerate to clear today? It must be respectful at all times with people's energy. It's very strong. Pathogen energy is very strong and nasty. It's nasty. It makes me feel sick. When I was training to identify the pathogens, it took me 5 weeks in my training to actually identify the energy, which was bizarre for me because I've been working with energy for like 16, 15 years. So yes, it is on a completely different realm. Can I say that? Dimension, I don't know. It's just different. Yeah.
And And you were led along this path, and now you are the only practitioner doing this work in Australia at the moment.
Yeah. So that's amazing. I found it and took a leap of faith to actually go forward, because it wasn't cheap. It was quite, a lot of money for me. With the exchange rate, it was just a lot to pay, and not knowing if this is right for me. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah, I had to take a leap of faith, and I was constantly getting messages going, take a leap of faith. It's going to be very positive for you and the people that you meet to heal, to help heal. So I'm so glad I did, because it's been so life-changing for quite a few people. Like, they've had major stuff shifted. And on a personal level, I've cleared a lot of things as well.
Well, that's important, isn't it? Because yes, we're all on our own individual journeys, and it doesn't matter what role we're playing. Of course, we're learning ourselves and creating a better body, a better human in all different aspects as well.
Yes, and so many of us are struggling with health issues, and a lot of people, when they come to me, they've exhausted the doctors, and the specialists don't even are not able to help them. They've done a lot of vitamins and supplements and herbal treatments, and they still have these awful symptoms. So to be able to identify a pathogen and clear that is just a huge, it creates huge shifts for people. So that's what I love, is to be able to help people when they're not being helped by the mainstream kind of, that level.
And again, I believe we are led, Vanessa. So people might have tuned in today and, wow, here's an answer to their prayers, as you found with that other lady who had been praying, and boom, boom.
Yeah. Wonderful. So humbled by all this work as well. And everybody teaches me. Every client has taught me things about health and healing. So everybody is very much valued to me. So yes, very important to honor everybody who's come forward to work with me, because it does take faith for them to actually do it as well, because they're going, oh, does this work?
Yay! And I know some of the people on here at the moment that they've gone down the traditional paths and might still be, as you said, still questioning, or still trying to find what's going on in their own bodies. So
yes. Now the main thing is stress and emotions, and a diet does play a lot. Long-term, diet, definitely. So I'm not going to write diet off. Diet is very important.
Yes.
But stress is the major thing, and our emotional body. If we can start clearing emotions and start identifying where we're storing the emotions, and to clear them, because they do create a lot of discomfort in the body.
Well, that's what Garlaman's saying, that nothing seems to clear his emotions. And Robin's saying anxiety is hard to clear.
Yeah, we did a little bit of work with the heavy metals. They did help with anxiety. Some people will have actually quite huge shifts with anxiety when I clear the heavy metals, like copper, amalgam, lead, aluminium. The other thing with anxiety is that it's stress. It's ongoing stress that's in your subconscious mind that just keeps looping around. So it's running in the background. So on a conscious level, you may not so much be aware of it, But there's always, I find personally, there's always some sort of trauma or upset that has caused the anxiety to begin with. And as we get older, more things start going wrong. We experience more, you know, things that go on in life that happen to everybody. And all that kind of compacts and layers more and more stress to create, and then next minute you got anxiety, and then next minute you got depression, because it all compounds. So it's important to clear all this grief and things that we have going on. Yeah, very much.
Yes, and the older we are, the more that it's compounded over the years.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
absolutely. So, and the pathogens compound as well. You know, we get more and more as we get older. They're just more and more of them.
Now, you mentioned that you were also happy to do something with the ear chakras.
Oh yes, the ears.
So, what is it that we don't want to hear?
Yeah, there's a few things with the ears. I did get guidance for today to do the myelin sheath, but I also got ears. So the ears are what do I don't, obviously, but what do I not want to hear? What am I trying to block out? This could be noise, invasive noise that impacts your nervous system, anything that disrupts you and disrupts your nerves. Are your ears filled with dust or glue or other energies and emotions that are clouding your hearing? So dust and glue are just metaphysical terms for energy that's blocking the ears chakras to hear. So you hear spirit, to hear your higher self, to hear your own guidance. So I'm very telepathic myself. I hear voices in my head, not physically, but telepathically. I hear the words in my head. And I tell you, my hearing is supersonic. I will hear stuff going on the other side of the house because my ears are so spiritually clear.
Excellent.
So I don't need any more clearing, because sometimes I can't sleep very well because I hear so many different noises. So my ears, there's nothing wrong with my ears. These are just some of the things I'm reading out, like I can't tolerate your rudeness. So if someone's being rude to us, we're just going to shut that out, aren't we, and block it off. So we do all these things energetically. So if we have a partner who's being difficult, or, you know, for whatever reason, we can shut off to them because we've had enough, or we don't want to hear what they're talking about. We don't want to hear truth. So who have I shut off to is something we can ask ourselves. Who have I shut off to? And what have I shut off to?
That's a good one.
Sometimes we're selective in what we want to hear. We don't want to hear other people's dramas, because that kind of brings us down, you know, emotionally and energetically, hearing other people. So we're just going to block them out. So all these things going on is working to block the ear chakras. We don't really want to be blocked. We don't want to be going deaf down the track, because that's not a good thing. So everybody's different of what they're carrying in their ear energy, of course. So I'm just wanting to do a little clearing, if that's okay.
Yes.
So we're going to do left and right at the same time. I'm not going to do one separate. We're just going to be working on clearing the energy in the chakras, so left and right chakras. So if everybody wants to clear something here, just set your intention now to release emotional.
And to remind people, if you are listening to this while you're driving or doing something really important, please stop.
Yes, please just pull over or switch off and replay it, listen later or something, because some people can be affected with energy running for sure. So nice deep breath. Close our eyes and hold our intention to clear emotional, physical, mental and spiritual energies that are blocking our ear chakras and preventing us from hearing spirit. So just go quiet again. Starting to feel drowsy again. Also asking for imprints to be cleared. Imprints. There's also the collective noise from the collective consciousness that is affecting us as well. So everybody's ears buzzing. Certainly buzzing mine at the moment. It's starting to buzz. It's so funny. Everything is energy, right? We're just shifting some energy. Clearing all the non-beneficial energies that are impacting our ear chakras. And that's finished now, that process. We'll start a clearing process energetically for your ear chakras. So just be aware of what you may hear or feel in the next 24 hours. You usually get some sort of things going on or releasing. Sometimes it's emotions that might come up and you feel emotional. Yeah.
Oh.
Did anybody feel that? Feel the ears getting woo-woo?
I didn't that time. Garlaman is saying it's like I'm so in alignment for today's show because his noise is his biggest trigger for anxiety.
Wow, wow. So it was interesting. I picked up that the collective noise is impacting us. So when we hear things, even on a different level, it is still impacting our nervous system, as well as the physical noise that we may hear. You know, if someone drops a plate in the kitchen, I just jump. I mean, any noise to an empath or someone who's very sensitive can really be feel, you know, very uncomfortable.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, Robin would like to know what you think of meditation.
Meditation is amazing for coming back into yourself, because it's when we're in that sacred space of being just calm and peaceful. It's when we're in that space that we can hear spirit. We can hear even our body talking. We can hear the guidance. I'm constantly being told to stop and just sit. You need to get some more information here. There's so much more they want to give me, but I'm so busy. I don't make enough time for it. So just even once a week, just make time for yourself. Put on your beautiful music, relax. Just listen to the sounds, the tones of the music. That in itself is healing. Yeah, so meditation, Robin, is very important. And if your mind's going 100 miles an hour, it's hard for you to meditate. I would recommend listening to a CD where you're listening to someone's voice who is guiding you. And I do have a lot of those for the body healing. So yes, recommend listening to someone else's meditation to guide you with something, with the processes.
Yes. And as well as yours, Vanessa, there are many meditations on YouTube by so many people.
And some beautiful music too. There's beautiful music.
Yeah.
Where you can, it's all free and wonderful. There's so much on YouTube now to receive. So hope that helps you, Robin. Have you been meditating or you're not finding the time?
Well, Robin's, that was a comment from earlier. She was saying that there was a little buzz in her right ear during that process. Interesting that you say music or voices when we maybe need more silence. I think what you were meaning, Vanessa, was if we're struggling to simply sit in silence, then we have these other measures that can help us along the way.
Yes, absolutely, because you're not relaxed when you're just in silence. So if we have some music, it can help relax you to be receptive to whatever's coming in for you.
Yeah, Robin's saying that she finds it hard to stop. I think a few of us can put our hands up to that.
I yes, empathise with you. I know exactly what you mean. It is hard, but you've got to make time for yourself and put on one of those lovely spoken meditation healings.
Yeah. It's really important, I think, even if it gets to the point where we put time into our diaries for ourselves, because it's so easy to go, oh, yes, I can do that. Yes, and do all of these things for other people. And then we wonder why we're feeling a little tired or stressed or overwhelmed.
Yes, absolutely. Make time for yourself. Tune into the body, send it love. Just send yourself love, because all the parts of you that are in pain are the parts of you that have not received love. They're the parts that you have avoided.
And they're saying, watch me, find me, look at me, feel me.
They want to be acknowledged. It's like, hey, we're working really hard, but you're not listening here. So, as I said, my cells said some very interesting things. So I'm going to share that very soon. And it's kind of scary, but I'm happy to share it with others just for the awareness of, wow, this is something we need to maybe look at if you're interested.
Well, that's what we're doing, Vanessa, is giving people options, maybe new ideas. And as I said at the start of the show, this is, we look at how does it stack up against my own judgment. I was only talking to my mother about this morning. It's really important that we honor ourselves. What is the right action for me to take? It might not be the same as somebody else's. That doesn't matter. It's important that we honor ourselves and trust our own judgment.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, wonderful.
Now, Robin's saying, doing this today is giving my body love. Thank you. Whoa.
Absolutely. You're making time for yourself.
Yeah.
So I want to do more videos of these kind of things to heal the body.
Excellent. I'm sure. Well, Gala Man is saying that last session he's talking about the ear chakra work was strong.
Oh, well.
He believes that he's been picking up on the collective noise, especially when driving.
Wow. Yes.
I'm hoping that I'm reading those sentiments correctly. Sometimes I paraphrase.
Yeah. I'm also going to be putting out little videos for people to buy for certain viruses. So
Well,
if you've got...
Mention those sessions that you run, Vanessa. I know you did one recently and people can purchase the replay of that.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I was shown to do the limbic brain system healing, so clearing the limbic brain, and a Lyme pathogen. So it was Borrelia burgdorferi. I'm probably not saying that right, but it's a pathogen, a bacteria that affects the brain in people with Lyme disease or neurological problems. So I did the clearing live here at my home, and I did a lot of energy processes to clear emotions and genetic things, a lot of little things in there that I included in the brain clearing. And I was guided very strongly to tape that session. So now I can offer that to others to listen to that whole healing. And every time you listen to it, you'll be able to get more and more layers cleared. So it's wonderful to offer that.
And people can find out about those sessions, as you were saying, via the website, Pathogen Clearing Services, or they could ask to be added to your email list. Is that correct?
Yes. I do them maybe twice a month. I should be doing them, but I don't always do them twice a month. I get overwhelmed with other stuff, and so at least once a month. So we clear a pathogen and a body part.
All right. And you let people know prior, don't you, as to what you're doing. So we can either be drawn to it or say, okay.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Yeah. And if you don't know you've got the pathogen, just say, I do, say, Aspergillus bronchialis. You go, what's that? I do have breathing difficulties. Maybe I need to get you to check to see whether I have that pathogen. And so if you just drop me a little message, I can check energetically to see whether you're testing positive for that pathogen. And if you are, you can then join the group, the class, the remote class. And then you get the body part healing as well. So most people know that they've got some sort of thing going on. not everybody has the pathogen when I test them. So it's worth just having and asking me anyway. If you're not familiar with that pathogen, say, hey, do I have that? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I do Epstein-Barr as well. So a lot of people already know they have Epstein-Barr.
Mm-hmm.
And they just say, yep, put me in that class.
Well, I know the first time I heard about Epstein-Barr was when I read Anthony William, and I went, oh my goodness. And yet, as you mentioned earlier, so many of us happen to have that particular pathogen.
No. And some people don't realise that it's the root cause of, one of the root causes of their fatigue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's very interesting what we have pathogenically. I want to mention dental stuff as well. Like I've had real success with dental pathogens, particularly someone who had the gum disease and dental infections. So bacteria, there's a ton of, I've got a whole list, about 100 of dental pathogens.
Wow.
Huge change around for that man. Yeah. And myself, I've had bacteria going on with some things. So I just wanted to mention the dental stuff.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, Vanessa, it has been an absolute pleasure. J.O. Man saying, put me in that class. So I'm sure that you two will connect via...
Yes, I'd love to connect, absolutely, to anyone who's open.
Pathogen Clearing Centre, services.
Pathogen Healing Services.
On Facebook.
Yeah.
And I get the sense, Vanessa, that you and I will pop up again on Angel Heart Radio.
Oh, I'd love to do that. Love to come back and we'll do another clearing.
That would be fantastic.
Something else. Yes, that'd be fun.
So remember, for people who are watching at the moment, if you have specific areas or questions, you can always reach out directly to Vanessa via, as we said, Pathogen Clearing Services on
Healing
Facebook.
Services.
It's
not clearing, it's Pathogen Healing Services.
I'm very sorry. I have been saying that incorrectly the whole time. Pathogen Healing Services.
Yes.
And please reach out that way, or you can send comments via our Angel Heart Radio page as well. So thank you very, very much for joining us today. I'd like to remind you all that I come back tomorrow, and this week I have Janet Hickox with me. Janet's going to be talking about astrological issues at the moment, and there's a double whammy tomorrow. We're very, very fortunate. Janet is on with me for her usual show, and then about half an hour later she's on again with Anaya and Carol Ann, and they're going to be discussing the next 7 years. Fascinating stuff. It's a sequel to a session that they did last month. In the meantime, everybody, there is so much to explore through Angel Heart Radio. And of course, you can go and find out more about Vanessa's work on Pathogen Healing Services on Facebook. Thank you all very much for joining us.
So much.
It's been an absolute delight. Vanessa, thank you for giving us your time and your expertise.
Oh, thank you for having me. I appreciate that so much. Thank you,
worries.
everybody on the call. Hello.
Okay, bye for now.